Hello. Wow, nothing like cutting it to the very, very last second. I was literally just messing around with lights because, oh, no, can't go any lower. Okay, cool. It's been chaos, but we're here. We made it. And I actually managed to get my hair blow dried and a little bit of makeup on before this thing started. Is it perfect? No, but it's as good as y'all are going to get today. Hoo-wee, is it really dark? I'm still trying to assess what the right lighting situation is. It's evidently much harder to light my office in this corner specifically in the middle of the day than because I had my ring light. My ring light is over here, and it's meant to fill in the void, and then I have my hue lights right in front of me, and this side is always a little bit shadowed and whatnot. But because of the natural sunlight coming in, it's proving to be a little bit more of a struggle. Like there's more shadow and more heaviness, and my power sheets are all over creation. Y'all, this just kind of pretty much sums it up, right? And it's all good. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here, for moving your schedules to be able to join me live early. Fun fact, my rehearsal got canceled. Of course it did, right? My rehearsal got canceled. We got an email 3 hours ago saying, by the way, there's not going to be rehearsal tonight, so show up at 6:30 on Sunday. Cool. Awesome. So I wasn't about to move this back because by this point you all have seen it. That said the information that said that we were having a live stream at 3. So here we are. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's see who's joining us in the live chat this afternoon. We have Lissa, hello, and Lori. Lauren. What? You are the last name I expected to pop up on here today, because you're enjoying Disney World, and I'm living for your Instagram stories. So please, please, please continue to share, if for no other reason than selfishly me, because I'm really enjoying seeing your stories. Susan, hello. So one thing that's super fun about having this live stream early is it brings in a slightly different crowd of people, which I love, like names that I know. Crafty Bear, hello, hello. It is Crafty Bear is in Florida. My goodness. Jane, hello. Good to see you. Michelle, Donna. Oh my goodness. Love it so much. It's 80 degrees in Florida. So here's the funny story. I'm in my Big Fuzzy. I haven't busted out Big Fuzzy once yet this year. Like it's been in my bin, but this is like the big cozy. And I love this. I got this from a Wantable box last year, 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I think. And it's so stinking warm. But here's the kicker. We haven't been in Minnesota winter enough for me to warrant wearing it. And so all of the sudden, it's been like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 40 degrees, like not enough for me to want to bust out this blanket like sweater. And today I woke up and it was like 4 degrees. Right now, we're actually blazing at 18 degrees. But tomorrow is supposed to be like in the 50s again. So I literally was like, I busted this out just to wear it to lead my healthy meeting today because I was freezing and what I had on was not sufficient. And then I took it off to go downstairs and work out. And I was like, what do I wear for my live stream and for this rehearsal that is now canceled? And I was like, you know what? We're going to continue to wear the big cozy because it's might be the only day this year that I get to wear it because somehow Mother Nature thinks it's spring, but also I'm not going to be surprised if like another blizzard blows through. I really don't know. I have no freaking idea what to expect out of the weather. I just know that I'm personally going to enjoy any gift that Mother Nature wants to give me. I took Gracie on a walk on Monday in a sweater, like not in a jacket, in a sweater type situation at 6 p.m. And I was like, Gracie, we're going to go for a walk because I sure hope she's not outside my door listening to me say those words because she's going to lose her mind. Um, but I couldn't not go outside. I couldn't not go outside, and it's funny because a little bit later, I saw an Instagram story from a local acquaintance, and her story was basically her walking outside with her dog and going, "If you are in Minnesota and you did not get outside today, you are crazy." And it's true. And it's true. So, yeah, well, that means you get an expect I know, it's great. My husband's like, "What are you gonna do with your newfound freedom?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do." But it's nice. It's nice to have a night off. That sweater and your eyes remind me of the thing I've been seeing on IG where people are wearing their eye color. So what's fascinating, it's really funny that you say that. My eyes aren't gray. They're not gray. They change colors, y'all. Where's my little doohickey? Hang on, I can make this happen. Watch this. Zoom in. Are my eyes gray? No, see, they're green. They're green. But when I wear gray clothes, they look gray. They can go from emerald green to slate gray. I don't understand how it happens or why. When I wear bluer tones, they turn blue, but my eyes are not gray. But they look gray. I wonder if your eyes are magic. Yeah, I will keep sharing. We're having a great time. The weather's beautiful. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're having a good time. Say hi to Disney World for me. We haven't gone lately. Well, that's not true. When did we go? We went last year once to Epcot Center for the evening because a friend of ours works there. So we just whenever we go visit them, we just go because it doesn't cost us anything. And it's so fun. Disney is an adult, especially a child-free adult. So fun. So stinking fun. I painted my toes and have flip-flops on. I'm in New Hampshire, but it's cloudy, but it's in the 50s. I love that. I love it. And I'm itching for like the springish weather so I can be like, I don't have to wear a coat today. Happiest day. It's just the weather is absolutely crazy. But and so here's the thing. Like not to get political, but don't tell me climate change isn't real because hello, that's not normal. But also, I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm not mad. Like El Nino, this is what I said to my husband last night. I was like, yes, I know it's an El Nino year, but like you can't tell me that this isn't bonkers out of control. Like El Nino is going through puberty, right? Like that's exactly what I said to him last time. Like, it's like El Nino is going through puberty. And I'm not mad. Let's be very clear. I'm not mad. If Minnesota winter wants to not have like a foot of snow, that's great. I'm here for it. I do sit and wonder what the agricultural repercussions of this winter are going to be, though. Honestly, I do. Um, but for my own selfish and personal gain, this weather is awesome. So I will take the random day where I have to wake up and it is 4 degrees if I know that my next couple of days are, let's see, currently it's 18 degrees, and my next couple of days are 49, 55, 57, 67, 42, 50, 50. I cannot complain. There will be zero complaints. There will be zero complaints. But also, there may or may not be snowfall on Easter. Just my luck, right? That's how it is. My friends, I would like to hear from you. How are you guys doing? This is the part of the chat where I want to encourage you to share with me your highs and your lows and your wellness wins and the things that you are working on. I would love to hear all about you. Our highs are the little celebration from the last week. It could be teeny tiny, it could be a big epic high, whatever the highlight of your week was for you. I would love to hear about it. And then on the flip side, if you want to share your current struggle, low point, bad day that you had, whatever it is, I would love to hear about your low as well. So we as a community can gather around you, give you a virtual hug of support and help you through that. And then your wellness win is a win as it specifically pertains to your wellness journey, whatever wellness journey means to you. And then if you want to share something that you are working on actively, I would love to hear that as well. And then I will go ahead and get this ball rolling. What is my high, y'all? What is my high? I don't know. It has been, I have an itch in my ear. I'm so sorry. Like I want to stick a Q-tip in it to get the itch. That's what it feels like. That is the one downside I have found to sleeping with earplugs is the inside of my ears get itchy. That, it happens. What's my high, y'all? My high, I mean, it's got to be the weather. It's right. It's got to be the weather. And we had small group. Oh no, we had small group this past week, and it was lovely. And although I probably talked about it last week because that's when we actually had it. Now that I think about it, and then we got together with our small group leaders on Saturday. The wife texted me and is like, "Hey, you guys want to get together just for a beverage on Saturday morning?" And I was like, "You know what? Sure. We're going to be out doing errands because, of course, I had to go out and about and be the oomph behind my husband's errands. He drove things around, but because his ankle's busted, he has a high ankle sprain, for those that are wondering. He he like couldn't like go inside and do the returns and all of that. So like he's like, I'll drive because you hate driving. And then I had to go in and do all the work for all the returns and pickups and this and that and the other thing. It's fine, whatever. So we were already gonna be out and about. So we're like, yeah, let's meet at Caribou Coffee. And we sat for like 2 hours and just chatted about life. And it was very, very good, very helpful. And I'm just so pleased with the community that we are building here. It is wonderful. And so that's my high. My low is just still all of the stuff that we're getting through. We're figuring it out. But the season of struggle video that I posted, like that's very real. That's very, very real. And I guess my wellness win is Andy, you made it. Good to see you. Um, I was thinking about you and really hoping that you got the memo that I moved my live stream because poor Andy, the last time I moved it, I I guess I scheduled it so early that he didn't see it. And for those of you that don't come every week, Andy does come every week. And so he messaged me. He's like, "Are you not on today?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It was 4 hours ago, or whatever the time was." And I felt really bad. So I'm glad you found me. Um, so all of that stuff is my low. My wellness win is all in all truly me trying to do my best to take care of myself in the season of struggle because like truly the brunt of the struggle is not mine, it's just residual struggle. And residual, is that the right word? I don't know. Sympathy struggle, I don't know. But especially for people personality types like mine, I'm an obliger, I'm an Enneagram 9. When my person is not feeling great, feeling miserable, needs extra care, I have to take on more of the work. It affects me in a way that it might not affect a different personality type, and it weighs real heavy. And I know my fellow Enneagram nines can relate. I know you can, and it's just been tough. So the fact that I lifted weights for the first time in ages this week, huge wellness win, absolutely major, because I took a big hiatus from weightlifting and I finally decided, I was like, you know what? I need to do this for me. I need to get back in the weight training game. I need to get back in the workout game because I've got stuff to do. I've got adventures to plan for. And wouldn't you know, like truly, if this had been like real dead of winter, completely snowy, gross, and constantly cold weather, I would place money on me not having the drive to want to up the fitness game. Um, Sorry, why I'm so itchy. There's another low. My skin is so dry and I don't know why. I don't know why. I use all the hydrating things. I now have a dermaflash tool, which is one of those like electric dermaplaning tools, and I use it diligently every single week to get all the dry skin off. I soak myself in serums and my skin, I was putting powder on just to like put a little bit of makeup on. And you can't see it, I don't think, thank God, on the camera, but like my whole forehead is flaking. What is happening? I'm eating the fat that I'm supposed to be eating. I'm drinking the water I'm supposed to be drinking. I guess I could be drinking more. I'm using all of the hydrating serums and the moisturizers and this and that. And my skin is just, ah, I don't know what's happening. Anyway, the weather is encouraging me to want to move more, which is lovely. And so I lifted weights and I'm sore, the biceps be hurting, the arms be hurting. And so the wellness win is yes, I'm doing the working out, which is spectacular, but also I am trying to find the line of what is too much, what is not enough. And instead of regularly crossing that line, I want to be respectful of that line. And my husband and I even had a conversation yesterday because I was talking about, I'm like, you know what I think my hesitation with um weight training is? It's when I do it well, when I'm challenging myself, when I'm pushing myself, I end up so sore that I can't do life. And so I feel like it's either one or the other. And as somebody who's trying to break everybody she knows of their all or nothing mindset, including my husband and myself, like I'm sitting there going, how do I get out of all or nothing mindset? I either work out or I can live life. I've got to find that middle ground of whatever that is. And so for now, I think it's going to be using less weight but doing the moves with the intensity level I would like, but maybe instead of challenging the weight just that much further, maybe pull back a little bit. And yeah, it'll take me longer. And yeah, like to see results, the same results. Like if I would use weight that was 20% heavier, obviously I would see results sooner, but at what cost? So that's my wellness win is that whole situation. And I would argue that my working on it is also that whole situation, right? Oh, my friends, my friends. Our warmer days coming up are also predicted to be rainy. Come on. My win is that I went to the gym yesterday. I was planning on just walking on the treadmill, but I saw the circuit and felt called to lift. Yes, that's intuitive lifestyle, my friend. That is the intuitive lifestyle. You're like, heck yeah, I feel like doing this. And that's kind of what happened. Like I had in the back of my mind gone, you're gonna weight train this week. But like I woke up and I actually was like, I'm gonna weight train today. It feels right. Let's go. Instead of like dragging myself kicking and screaming to do it. Da, da, da. Am I working on it? Is that I'm still figuring out the shoe thing. I've been learning a lot of new things about proper shoe sizing and fit, and it's pretty fascinating. I love it. I love it. I've been planning my booster. Excellent. Excellent. Like, apparently, I have long arches and short toes. So, even though my feet measured an 8.5, I may actually need to wear a size 10. Oh, interesting. That's very interesting. I always wondered about the dermaplane tool. I guess it removes peach fuzz. I hate the peach fuzz on my face and wondered if I should use a tool to remove it. Does the hair grow back? I mean, yeah, hair always grows back. It's not a laser. It's not a laser. It's just it's a razor blade, right? But you can use, and here, hang on. Hang on. Oh, let me abandon my post to grab something. If you don't want to spend Bakoodle's money, oh come on, arms, you can do this. Ugh, here we go. If you don't want to spend bakoodles of money, you can buy a tool like this, like an eyebrow razor. It's got the razor on it, and you can literally you can do it like that. I have this tool that my in-laws got me for Christmas because I asked for it. And it's an electric one. So the razor actually vibrates. And it's like it's a single bladed razor, and you do the short feathery strokes like you would if you had this thing, but it's got like the extra, it goes the extra mile for you. And it works. You should have seen the amount of stuff that I got off of my face, but it's not just about the peach fuzz. It also helps exfoliate the skin. It literally will scrape off the dead skin on your face, which, as I just complained about, you know that that's what I'm experiencing. So the first time I did it, so I've been doing it diligently every single week. Saturday is my dermaplaning day, and I use a tool called the Derma Flash. And the Derma Flash tool comes with like this cleanser you're supposed to use, and it actually strips the oil out of your skin so you can pull it taut, and so it can actually do its job well. Because if your skin is too if there's fresh oils and stuff on it, it's going to glide right over and it's not going to actually do what it's supposed to be doing. So I do that every single week, and then I take my favorite serum, and the amount of serum, I probably use at least 3 times the amount of serum that I normally would on a nightly basis, and my skin just sucks it up. sucks it up. So you wash with this oil removing thing, you do the treatment. And the first time I did it, I got a lot of peach fuzz. I did. I got a lot of peach fuzz. Now I get what I can best describe as dust because it's literally just my dead skin cells coming off my face. And like, especially up here, which now that I'm thinking about it, isn't it interesting that like this is the part where I'm like, you can actively see dry flaking skin. And this is also the part that kicked up the most dust. Dust. It's the dead skin cells, but like that's what it looked like. So I kept every stroke I do like the and then I take and I have to blow off the razor so I can keep going. So it gets all of the dead skin. And my makeup goes on, generally speaking, a lot better. My skincare, like I said, it's like a sponge. It's like a freaking sponge. And the morning after I do it. So I do it and then I put on all the serum and whoa, where did that light come from? The heck just happened? That was weird. Um, the I so I put on the serum, let that sink in, put on moisturizer, let that sink in, and then wouldn't you know it, my skin starts to feel a little bit dried out again. So I go in with a third layer of moisturizer, my heaviest moisturizer. And then I wake up the next morning and my skin feels like a baby's tush, my friends. It's so nice. Why it's having this flaking dilemma, I don't know. But since then, like there's the occasional, I of course get we're all women, right? We all get it. The above the lip hairs, yep, that has to happen. And then it also helps me like tame the flyaway eyebrow areas. I'm careful because I don't want to accidentally lop off an eyebrow, but it does get the extra hairs that are up here and in here. But after that first round, if you do it every single week, I've noticed it's less about the peach fuzz, but it's still getting the peach fuzz. You just can't see it as well because the peach fuzz has barely come back in, right? And you're just removing it again. Um, but it's great. I've been really enjoying it years ago, and I still struggle with it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm planning the fun things I'm going to do for my birthday. Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, which is an hour away, and I only go like once a year. Also looking into my birthday freebies, crumble cookies. Oh, Lori, indulge in it all. Don't forget to go to Starbucks. Make sure you have a Starbucks account so you can get free Starbies on your day. And you have to have a crumble cookie account as well. So get all the apps. Give her all of the details, y'all. Any freebies that might be in her area, but you got to get the Crumble Cookie app and make sure you have a rewards account for that. They will automatically load the coupon into your account. And same with Starbucks. You just have to tell them, hey, it's my birthday, and they should give it to you. But I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to assume you need a Starbucks account in order to get it. I don't know. Birthday crumbles, one of my favorite freebies because you get 5. Yeah, I actually used mine in December because the cookies the rest of November didn't look good to me. How much hair does it remove? Will it work on beards? No, it won't work on beards. The razor blade, like the razor blade is literally like this. This is what you see. Hang on, let me see if I can get it to focus. Will you focus not on me? No, 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 you're not going to do it. Can you focus on this, please? Maybe. There it goes. It's the finest little blade. You see, so it's about you see about the same amount as in this tool here. So no, it's like if you shaved off your beard and you wanted to use it for maintenance, maybe possibly, but it's meant for like peach fuzz and for dead skin cells, not like actual thick testosterone filled hair removal. The shoe's fascinating, but apparently shoes are meant to flex at the ball joint of the big toe. So if you're a size 9, but you have a size 10 arch, your shoe will flex too far back. Interesting. Sorry, Andy. We love you, Andy. Most people are. He's a very understanding man. Paris Baguette does a free drink if you sign up. Oh wow! I got the extra Starbucks. Perfect. Love it. She's all set to go with her birthday freebies. I'm trying to think if there's any other good ones. If you're a beauty gal, you need to make sure you have an Ulta account and a Sephora account because you get the birthday freebie when you go. So it's like, or when you order online, and then they have like a couple of options. Sephora usually has a few options. Ulta usually has one option, but it's fun. It's fun. I love the freebies. Hello, Rosie. It is good to see you. Oh, my friends. Okay. So I wanted to talk briefly. I also have to check and see. I saw one comment come in on my question box, but it was asking how we were doing, which is so sweet. You know who you are because you're the one who sent it. Um, and I think that's the only thing I got. So we are hanging in there, and we're making things happen. We're doing the best we can, and that's all we can do, right? That's all we can do is the best that we can. So I wanted to talk about just how February went. Consider this like part one of my goals video, because I'm going to do a March goals video, but I will do like the recap in here, I suppose. Why so early? It's funny you say that because I had a rehearsal tonight that was canceled. But by the time that it had been canceled, I had already told everybody, hey, the live stream's at 3 o'clock today. So that's why. And that's fine because it means that I get a night off, which is lovely because tomorrow night is goal setting chat for my membership community. So I am otherwise tied up tomorrow night. So that works out well for me and everybody involved. All of you that normally come on Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights get to I'm trying to flip through pages that I'm already turned to, guys. My brain. I tell you what, my brain. So everybody who normally comes to my live stream tonight also gets the night off. You're welcome. Do something fun with your time tonight. So how are things doing? Well, as you can probably guess, I have had to rejigger expectations of what this month was going to look like. And I am continuing to rejigger what March is going to look like. And it's an interesting thing because I'm really trying, now that we feel like we've had a month of this weirdness underneath our belt, I can hopefully be able to figure out how to get my footing under being available to assist in the ways I need to be assisted, or be able to plan ahead in the ways that will help me so I can spend more time working and not being completely burnt out. One thing that I have been doing that I can tell is a stress response. And you know how like some people end up how do y'all respond to stress when you're like totally stressed out, overwhelmed, borderline burnout? What is your default? Mine is to stop, and not like stop in a productive way. I mean stop like scrolling, doom scrolling, looking for the dopamine hit. And I've seen a lot of things actually. Sidebar. My brain is running ADHD today. I'm convinced. I even texted my family. I was like, so does ADHD actually run in our family? And my sister's like, me, diagnosed, didn't like medication. I was like, oh, good. So it's actually in our genes. Cool. Because the more and more I talk to other people about their experience, especially women with ADHD, the more I go, ding, 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 ding. I actually had a conversation with one of the girls from small group who has ADHD, and she was talking about her food hyperfixations. And she's like, well, I'll get into a food and I'll eat nothing but that food for a really, really long time. I'll want it constantly. And then out of nowhere, I won't care about it anymore. And I looked at her and I was like, I'm sorry, that's an ADHD symptom? She goes, yeah. I go, well, shoot. I do that all the time. I am hyperfixated on multiple things right now. Like, they're all I want to eat. I'm on my second Sam's Club size box of these Premier Protein pancakes because I've been eating them every freaking day. Every freaking day. Can't help it. I got these new fig things, chocolate covered figs. Obsessed with those too. Like, I have these hyper fixations that I'm just like, I want more. I want more. I want to go to Costco and buy 5 more bags of those chocolate covered figs. And I know that one day I will wake up and I will not care about them anymore. It is the darndest thing. So there's that. I'm pretty positive that I am undiagnosed ADHD. Yeah. Awesome. So what I like to do is I like to disassociate and shut down and mindlessly scroll and then do nothing that has to get done. And it's not just like, it's this really weird thing because it's not just avoidance, but it's literally like feeling like I can't muster the energy to do it. If that makes sense. Like yesterday, for example, I got myself these really cute, oh, I should show them to you. I just finished a really good one. Hang on, I'm going to abandon my post again. I promise it's worth it. Where's my thing? Doop. Here it is. So remember those diamond paintings I was telling you about where I got miniature diamond paintings? This is the one I finished yesterday. It's Marilyn. It's Marilyn. And she took a long time because I individually placed every one of these beads. And and now I just lost one, so I have to replace it. Cool. And I would have rather spent 2 hours, I think is what I spent on it yesterday, 4 episodes of Friends. Last night when my husband was watching the hockey game, I'm like, I could be doing X, Y, and Z. I could be folding the laundry. I could be doing this. I could be meal planning. I could be this. But literally the only thing I felt remotely compelled to do was sit down and meticulously place bead by bead a diamond painting thing while I listened to episodes of Friends for the umpteenth time. It's all I had the mental capacity for. And I got a coloring app on my iPad. I've also been doing that. And like that has been my way to like disassociate but not be scrolling social media, is to just color and shade and do all of these other meticulous things with this coloring book app, which I'm obsessed with and will probably be subscribing to for the year for the pro version because I'm obsessed with it. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And which is fine, which is good. But like it's weird that I feel like I can't muster the devotion because it's not about discipline. And I had a whole discipline versus devotion conversation with y'all a couple weeks ago. And that mindset is still there, but it's such an interesting thing to like look at this list of things that I need to be doing, that I should be doing, and being like, even updating my website just felt overwhelming. It just felt overwhelming. And I'm just like, I don't have the energy to do that. And it's just so bizarre. So that's literally what I've been struggling with all of this. So the goals, I've had to reevaluate what the goals are supposed to be. So it's a couple of things that I did actually accomplish. I got my Lenten goals figured out. Yes, done. 2 Disabled Diva videos. I actually did one. I posted one of them. Happy day to me. I'm not going to get to the second one, but I posted one and one is halfway there. So that's pretty good. That's 50%. My home reset is as done as it's going to be. Our Christmas tree is still up. There are no ornaments on it, but it's still up and it's going to stay there until my husband can go up and down the stairs regularly. Stay within my grocery budget with a restock. I actually haven't been tracking, but I actually think I am doing that, which is great. Finalize our trip plans is done. Make a shopping list for our trip. I have not done, but also my husband has been. So does that count? Maybe, possibly. Read 3 books. This is another great example. I'm reading an excellent book right now, y'all. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. And I can't remember the name of the author, but this book was originally written in 1960. 1960. And it is about self-image and changing the self-image. And it is written by a plastic surgeon who talks about the psychology behind like image changes and things like, and he relates his plastic surgery stuff to psychology and all of these it's all of this information that we're hearing from manifestation coaches and all of these other visualization and acting like it's already yours, and all of these things were known in 1960. It's like the first book on it all. It really is. I feel like it's the first book written on the topic, and then it's just taken us all of these years to like really push it out there as valid information, which is so fascinating. But what's even more fascinating, and this is, I have to put my Christian hat on for a second. It's really interesting to hear the societal differences in religious speak and how, like, in 1960, everything was kind of looked at, generally speaking, through a more Christian or under God lens, right? And so this book that is completely about self-help and self-image and not actually about religion in any way, shape, or form, talks about God, talks about Jesus, talks about things that are in the Bible, because that's just how society related in the 60s. which is so different from now. And I just found that personally to be a very fascinating observation. And I was like, man, this book's it's not, and I looked, not a Christian book, not a, like, but it's just so matter of factly thrown in there, which I thought was so fascinating. I love your new luggage for your upcoming cruise. We're going on Norwegian cruise line. Norwegian. I had to think about that for a second because it wasn't our normal one. Our luggage is awesome. I really, really like it. My sister was diagnosed. My mom has said she always knew I had it, but my ADHD was always dismissed because I was a quiet kid who got good test scores. Yep, and mine too. I'm sure that's what happened with mine. Was my sister got diagnosed? She didn't do great in school. All of those things. I powered through. I was a pretty solid A student, except I didn't want to do homework and things like that. But like that was like my own choice, you know. But I'm really, really smart, really good in school. So no one thought anything of it. I had other problems to deal with, right? No one thought anything of it. So I don't think it even crossed my mom's mind that it was a possibility that I had it. Truly. I've been pretty emotional this month. Oh, Michelle. Yesterday I cried suddenly while doing laundry because I wanted to be doing my husband's laundry. The 16th was a year since he passed away. Michelle, I am so sorry. And I didn't know the exact anniversary of it, but I knew that it had happened or is happening. Um, and so I've been thinking about you, and I'm so sorry. And it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay. Like the idea of losing my husband, like I'm like, how would I not grieve forever? You know? Truly. And so I'm sorry. I'm thinking about you, praying for you, and giving you the biggest virtual hug. My high is them not doing much emotional eating, and I'm still working out 3 times a week and getting out and being social, even though sometimes it's hard, and that's great. That is such a solid grasp on your health and your wellness, right? You know, you're like, "Okay, I have this thing. This thing that's hard is not going to go away. How can I get through it? How can I don't wanna say power through it, but, I love that you're still working out, and remember that working out helps with emotions. It helps with mood. And I'm not saying it's going to wipe your grief away because it's not. But in the day-to-day, it can kind of help you keep a steadier head on your shoulders in the middle of the turmoil that is the grief. So good for you for doing everything that you can be doing for you. That's really important. Add green decorations. I told my husband the other day, I'm like, if I find like Easter egg garland at Target, I'm just gonna buy Easter egg garland and it'll just be an Easter egg tree. It's fine. Yeah, see? I could always put up an Easter tree. Exactly. Don't think I'm not tempted, y'all. Don't think I'm not tempted. 100% gifted kid with ADHD burnout here. Uh-huh. Yeah, we've talked about how you've had symptoms too. Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing, it's much harder to diagnose in women. It's much harder. Women and girls, it's much harder. So that's why a lot of us end up overlooked. And so we all end up in our 20s and 30s and go, what the heck is wrong with us? Why can't we function normally? And then we figure out that we have ADHD. And then it's like, oh, well, what do I do with this information? The coping mechanisms that we would have otherwise had in place, or the treatment we would have had in place as children, does not apply. So as adults, we have to figure out coping mechanisms and things like that. And for me, one of the things that does help, although I'm trying, it's the hard balance, right? Of um, caffeine actually helps me focus a lot because it's a stimulant. And ADHD medications are stimulants, and because it works well with the brain. And so what's the balance of me having enough caffeine in my system to stay focused and do the things versus having too much caffeine in my system wreaking havoc on my hormones, my cortisol levels, and my insomnia? Where's that line? I don't know the answer. We went on the Norwegian Encore at Christmas. It was the best vacation. We were going on Princess to Alaska in September. I love that. Princess is our normal cruise line. That is, I grew up going on Royal Caribbean, and then my husband's family did Princess. And so for our honeymoon, we did Princess. And because Princess, generally speaking, above Royal Caribbean, has a older demographic, which is fine by us. I am team cruise ship with no children, quite frankly. And while it's not cruise ship with no children, there are less children on Princess cruise lines than Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. So we prefer to go on Princess, but the trip that we were looking for was not available on Princess. So we went on Norwegian. It does get easier. January 28th, 20 years since Jim passed. I still talked about him again. And I'm sure you do. And I'm sure you're going to continue. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm half convinced my anxiety and depression might be it's possible. It's possible. If you ended up and this is, I'm not a doctor. Go to your doctor. But like truly, if you get the right medications for the right thing, it can be life-changing. It can be absolutely life-changing. My, sister-in-law was having the same conversation. She got put on something for a specific thing, and she goes, "I am a better person. I am able to do life. It's absolutely life-changing, and I have this medication to thank for it," because she needed to figure out what her problem was, get treated for it, and then take the medication. So depending on what the problem is, like, of course, it's, like, finding the right like, if you put a Band-Aid on what's the answer? Um, I'm trying to come up with an example and I don't even have one. But if you try to put a bandage on a broken bone, right? The bandage ain't gonna freaking do anything and it's just gonna make something worse. But if you figure out that the bone is broken and you put a cast on it instead, all of a sudden it gets better, right? Try turbo coffee, it will blow your socks off. Yes, but the problem again is I need to make sure that I'm not consuming so much caffeine that it ends up wreaking havoc on my hormones and my cortisol levels, which is a hormone. So I guess I can just say hormones. That's the balance. That's the balance. Because there have been a couple days. I recently got a new order of Dive bars, which for those of you that don't know, Dive bars are protein bars. Excuse me, that have the same texture as good old Quest bars. They have some other stuff in it, like candy and chocolate and whatever in it. They're quite tasty, but their gimmick is they're caffeinated. So there's 90 milligrams of caffeine in a bar that also delivers like 15 or 16 grams of protein and like 7 grams of fiber. So all in all, like if you need a little boosty boost in the middle of the afternoon, you need a snack and a cup of coffee all in one. These bars are a great idea. However, I have to be very careful not to eat them too late. And there have been a couple times that I've had one at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of a sudden bedtime rolls around and your girl is not tired. Like not at all tired. And so I'm like, well, what do I do now? And thankfully, my body is this is the importance of a nighttime routine, y'all. My body, it's like when I have my CPAP machine, right? It's like I've gotten so used to put on the CPAP and fall asleep that my brain now knows if I'm laying in bed with my CPAP machine on, it is time to go to sleep, which is such a blessing. It is such a blessing that I have trained my brain and my body to do that. But at the same time, like the fact that I'm like, I could be up for another 2 hours. Let me just sit here and play with my coloring book app or watch TV or whatever the case may be. Like I'm like, I should be feeling tired at like 10:30. And when I eat those bars in the afternoon, I do not. So yeah. Yeah. I was put on the wrong medication and it was awful. Tried to get a diagnosis and meds, but wait lists were so long it wasn't an option. Yeah, the wrong med's not going to help you. That's for sure. 7 or more grams of protein at under 250 calories. Oh, fantastic. That's great. It's important to find the food that works for you and what you need, which is awesome. So yeah, that's what's going on. I've edited down my goals. Part of me, and like I still look at these lists and part of me wants to be so frustrated that like I don't feel like I did. I don't feel like I did. But also, I've done so much else this month that I don't know that I care. That's kind of where I'm at with goals. And like the to-do lists. Fitness, 300,000 steps. Did I do that? I don't actually know because I haven't even been tracking. I mean, I've been tracking. I could go back and add them all up if I really wanted to. 13 Pilates workouts. Did I do 13 Pilates workouts this month? No. No. Do you know how many if you wanted to place a bet on how many I did? Let's see. I have a little calendar. This little app actually tells me with the energy of a Red Bull. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That is a lot. What is my calendar? My activity. I've done Pilates officially 3 times this month. Only 10 more to go. And 24 hours to do it in, 36 hours to do it in. Cool. Awesome. So it's just there's a lot of stuff that makes me go, oh. And it's important when you are in a season of struggle, which I have found most people right now are in a season of struggle of some kind. They look very different from one another, but the concept is the same. Season of struggle. It's important to take a step back and make sure that you are taking care of yourselves, right? And the same my 5 pillars for weight loss and my pillars for wellness and all of that are the same and need to be addressed and should be addressed as best as you can, especially in times of struggle. And that is nutrition, movement, hydration, which I'm not very good at. Let's stop, drop, and chug for a second, y'all. Okay. Hydration, stress management, and sleep. And all of these things need to be top priority for you as best as they can be regularly, but especially in a time of struggle, right? Taking care of yourself is the only way you're going to be able to take care of other people or keep your head on your shoulders, right? Um, so making sure that you take care of that is so much more important than like, did I get all of my videos done for the month? I don't think so. I don't think I did. But it's all good. So what is March? Looking ahead, I'm not going to tell you what my goals are because there's going to be a video for that. But March, like I don't have an empty tending list, y'all. Like things are, and I'm not finished with it yet, but things are going to look a little bit different. So, for example, one of my focuses is going to be making sure that, like, let's use one for example. I'm taking a book out a book. I'm taking a page out of the book Tranquility by Tuesday by Laura Vanderkam. And it was the have one big and one little adventure planned every week. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a fun way to make sure that I get out of the house and do a little something for me or do a little something that feels exciting, feels fun, feels like it gets me out of the mundane. And especially since this coming month, is the month that my course is supposed to launch. Yeah. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time working on that as well. And so there's a lot of things I would want to do, but I also have to balance that with things that fill my cup, right? And I think that's really important for all of us to remember is that we have to regularly make sure we are filling our cups in ways that are both the 5 pillars, right? But also, how are you having fun? How are you making sure you're resting? How are you doing something just for the heck of it, right? What is something you guys do just because you like it, right? Crochet, my diamond paintings. I have no actual reason to be doing these things. This looks really cool on the camera. It actually looks like a picture of Marilyn Monroe in my viewfinder. Up close, it does not. They're like Picasso's. The further away you get, the more they look like the thing they're supposed to look like. There's no good reason for me to be doing them other than I like them, right? Other than I like them. My husband and I have been watching BattleBots on HBO Max for no reason other there's no plot. All we're doing is watching robots beat the living daylights out of each other, and it is so much fun. Um, just because it's something different. So going on an adventure during the week, a small one, go get my brows done, go get a pedicure. I think I found a place that I want to go to for a massage, which is super exciting. So I'm trying to make sure I set goals that are like that are the equivalent of like, hey, your cart opens for your course at the end of this month. You have stuff to do. And hey, also make sure you're filling your cup and having fun and planning adventures and doing things just for the heck of it as well. Because a tending list, a goals list of just the things that are like the course is not where it's at for me right now. Not where it's at for me. I find tea and cacao help with the focus and energy without the jitters and the other issues. Yeah. So I have to find my alert. The bottle I have is so old they're still called alert capsules. But yes, I was gonna take one of those today and then I couldn't find them, and now it's too late for me to ingest caffeine, so I can't do it. But I wanted to like start taking them and putting them like up here just so I remember to take one when I sit down to work. Just try making daily goals each morning for the day. And that's a great way to do it, actually. That's a great way to do it. Here's a still alert too. And I kind of do. And so my husband and I have this, I told you guys about it a little bit. We have the skylight calendar now. And it is like if picture a big iPad or a digital picture frame, because it is a digital picture frame too, but it has your calendar in it. So it's sitting on top of our little pantry cabinets, and we can look, and it's like our both of our Google calendars are all synced up. So we can see everything that's on everybody's calendar. And I'm sorry, I have to sneeze. I'm starting to get really concerned with the fact that I'm sounding so nasally. Please, Lord, I do not need to have a cold on top of it, especially since I'm singing this weekend. Ugh. People on Unhealthy called out my voice earlier today too, and now I'm sitting here. I did the wow, my brain is going in 500 different spaces. I treated myself because it was on sale at Target and it's a $100 device. Someone ages ago suggested to me for my nasal problems, I'm like, I need to get a neti pot. And I have a neti pot. Someone suggested to me the Mac Daddy of all neti pots called the Navage. And I finally bought one. And why is it the Mac Daddy? Because it's freaking battery powered. Okay. And so this machine, you stick the thing in your nose, you have water up top and you have water at the bottom, and it literally powers the water through your sinuses instead of you having to like tip the teapot looking thing. So I just did that because my right nostril is still a problem, and instead of feeling better, I feel worse. So I'm like, oh, this can't be good. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm like the little dumpster fire dog. Have you seen the dumpster fire dog where like everything's on fire behind him and it's just he has his cup of coffee and he's like, it's fine. It's totally fine. That's what I feel like. Um, what was I talking about before I got on the nasal thing? Now I can't remember. But so we have the Skylight calendar. And one of the features of the Skylight calendar is you can assign chores to people. So every day, my husband and I either have like I have chores that show up, that it's basically my to-do list for the house, right? So and we can each add to one another's. So this morning I woke up and it said sign the tax forms because we submitted our taxes. That's under Brianna's chore list because my husband put it on there. So I can add things to his, he can add things to mine. So I also add things to my own for the things that I know I want to get done this day. And so my chore list might have nothing on it. It might have take out the trash on it, or it might have a list of 10 different things on it. Some of them are things that have nothing to do with my husband, but I want them on like the group to-do list. Why? Because I'm an obliger. And if my husband sees it, I'm more likely to do it. Take that for what you will. But I do have that. And but also like I have to keep in mind that like I can't wake up every day. If I have a cart open date at the end of March for a course, I have to have some of the course created before I sell it. I have to talk about, food freedom, why it's awesome, why making peace with food was the best idea that I've ever had, and now I can have brownies and cookies and pizza and all of these things in my house and not overeat them. Let me show you how I can do it. Like I have to put stuff out there. Otherwise, who's going to buy the course? Right? So I have to have goals like that on there just to be like, hey, remember, you want to do this thing. So you got to take actions to do this thing. But on the day to day, I have stopped doing like um, housemaking routines, homemaking routines. I vacuum when I go, I should probably vacuum, and I add it to my little chore list. Or I don't dust on a specific day anymore, not right now, because there's just so much random stuff to do. And yeah, so it's a little bit of one and a little bit of another. And then I also have to be very okay with not getting through all of the chores in a day if I don't have the ability to do so. That's a whole another thing with battle bots. It's so good. It's so funny. Caffeine and tea is processed differently than coffee. Maybe experiment with tea later in the day than coffee. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Right now I feel fine. Just a cough. Well, that's good. I feel fine except for all the way in the back of my throat, like the actual sinuses, and I I can't place where it is, but it just feels. I might take some Sudafed and see if that knocks it out. Or is it allergies? Don't know. That's what's weird. And I saw a now is when all the Midwesterners come out with their funny content about how the weather is treating them, right? And how like this is just full spring and third winter is coming and whatever. And we have like this whole like 9-step seasonal guide because instead of 4 seasons, we have like 9 or 10. And it's like, there's summer and then there's like fool's fall and then there's hell's front porch when summer comes back in a blaze of glory, and winter and spring have the same issues. The problem is it has been so warm that it may be pollinating, but I don't know. And the pollen detectors don't actually say that it's pollinating, but it could be pollinating. So the fact that it keeps getting hot and then freezing and then hot and then freezing, is it just my nose reacting to the dryness, to the pollen? Do I have a cold? Is it stress? I don't know. I don't know. And that's why we just keep on keeping on. And that's the lesson of the day. I just put it's hard. And there are days that I'm frustrated and every day I'm exhausted. But the one thing I do remember is I'm like, I'm just gotta put a smile on my face and keep going because it's gonna be okay. And that's the same thing I tell my husband who's going through it too. I'm like, babe, we're gonna figure it out day by day. We can't give up. We just gotta keep going. And that's all we can do. And that is what all of us need to do, my friends. So that's all I've got, y'all. That's all I've got. Yeah. I think rather than just try and talk your ears off randomly for the next 4 minutes, I will just let you guys go a little bit early because my throat is tired and my sinuses are tired. And so I'm tired of talking. See, this is a blessing in disguise because I was supposed to go to rehearsal tonight. And now I'm sitting here talking and I'm like, I don't want to go to rehearsal tonight. And now I don't have to. So maybe it's just the good Lord looking out for the situation at hand. It's all good. But thank you for being here. Thank you for coming at my different time. I need to remind me in the future to put my Google Calendar link in my description box because you guys can subscribe to my Google Calendar and then you can always see when I move things around and you'll be able to know all the happenings of the Diva and the Divine community. So remind me to do that. But for now, thank you guys for being here. Take care, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye, guys.